Tapas, what is the result of the tapa? Kayendra siddhi, ashuddhi chayat, tapasah. So Patanjali is telling us the benefit of tapa. Kayendra siddhi, ashuddhi chayat, tapasah. Kayendra siddhi, ashuddhi chayat, tapasah. So in the very beginning, he said kaya means body, indriya sense organ. We get purity, siddhi. Siddhi means here, the word is used as siddhi means powers. So when we do tapa, tapa means again the discipline and education of the mind, include the body and also include the sense organs. So one of my Hatha Yoga masters with whom I lived for a year, he used to do 1 hour of pranayama in the morning, afternoon, evening, and the night. At the age of almost 75, 76, he looks like as if he's under 40, but he was doing it regularly. So what happens? It is the prana that manifests the knowledge through the sense organ in connection with the mind. So you see that the prana, sense organ, and the mind. So you have a perfect sync of this. So sync gives you a deeper insight, very deeper insight. Say you are watching, you are seeing something. So the mind also joins. So sometime you get something of a power that mind reader. You read, you look at Alex and you know what's going on in their mind. So that is what is the reference of siddhi, means power. But it does not come, in 1 month or 2 months. You have to do a lot of practices. But the best part of the journey of yoga is that it leads to purity of the sense organs, purity of the mind, and also the purity in the nervous system. Or you can say purity by pranayama. Do you remember? And I think those things might be coming now. So the two benefits of pranayama, you get a remarkable focus of the mind. And second is dharana sucha yogyata manasa tatakshiyate prakasha varnam. The mind removes the veil of ignorance. That two benefits. So all these benefits, that is why he says the impurities is removed. And you get those powers. Now I have been talking about it. Sutra number 44. Swadhyaya Ishtadevata Samprayoga Swadhyayat 44th Sutra, second chapter, John. Swadhyayat Ishtadevata Samprayoga Swadhyayat Ishtadevata Samprayoga. Now see the self-study, what is the result of self-study? You can simply say, I have been telling you, we do self-study. Why we study yoga? To study ourselves. So it means whatever the principles that we study in yoga is to study myself, my personality, my attitude, my thought pattern, and then I have to see how I should start living in the day-to-day life. That is one aspect. And second is, the more I have a deeper understanding about different layers of my existence, 5 layers of my existence known as Panchkosha, 3 bodies, huh? physical body, subtle body, causal body. So the greater and deeper understanding gives me an idea that what is real self, what is not real self, and that is where the union takes place. Now, here the union has two meanings. Yoga, as we studied in the very beginning, that the commentator explains yoga, Vyasa. Vyasa is the great commentator. Vachaspati Mishra is the great commentator. These two commentators says yoga is the highest state of mindfulness. Means yoga leads to the supreme consciousness or the real self. But Patanjali did not leave any chance. So there is Sankhya Yoga. In Sankhya Yoga, that concept has been borrowed from the Sankhya Yoga to the Patanjali Yoga Sutra by the Patanjali. So, what the Sankhya Yoga says, we have two things, Prakriti and Purusha. That is one aspect. Then we also have an understanding that there is an individual consciousness and there is a supreme consciousness. Individual consciousness, supreme consciousness. So here there is another meaning here that by self-study, swadhyaya, the individual consciousness merges into the supreme consciousness. But we need to understand Yopana pranayorekyam swarajoretsostatha Surya Chandrama Yogo Jivatma Paramatmano Evam tu dvanda jalasya sanyogo yogityukto. That comes from Jabal Darshan Upanishad. It is a definition of yoga in terms of the union that we need to understand. So the Swadhyaya, the 44th Sutra will become clear. Yopana prana yorekyam. Union between the prana and apana. Yopana prana yorekyam. Swarajo retsos tatha. Union between Shiva and Shakti, individual, Prakriti and Purusha. Swaraj, Yopana Prana Yurekyam, Swarajuret Sostata Surya. Yeah, union between Surya and Chandra Swar. And union between the individual and the supreme consciousness. Now understand this point. It is written in Yog Shikha Upanishad. It is also written in Jabal Darshan Upanishad. It is also the same definition, more or less, it is in Yog Tattva Upanishad. Now see the last point. We missed the main point. Yes, Kate, you're saying something?
You just answered it. I asked which Upanishad it was in.
So, evam tu dvanda jalasya, meaning is that the mind, due to the network of delusion, feels that there are two, individual consciousness and supreme. In fact, they are one. So, yoga removes that network of delusion which presents to the mind that there are two, apana and prana is separate. As the functional level, they are separate. Structurally, they are one. It is, in fact, it is one prana that we already study. So that is what this 44th Sutra speaks about it. Now, what happens? Samadhi. So we have understood Ishwar Pranidhanani. We have understood what is that Ishwar Pranidhanani, surrender to the God. So what happens? Mind is totally absorbed into the real self. So what happens? You reach to the Samadhi, the highest state of meditation, the 45th Sutra. Samadhi Siddhi. Ishwar Pranidhanat. Samadhi Siddhi. Ishwar Pranidhanat. Samadhi Siddhi. Ishwar Pranidhanat. So if you mind totally, I was talking today in the morning in a private lesson. So I use the word non perception of the world by the mind. What do you mean by it? It is a sutra in another text. Non perception of the world, do it even for a minute. You experience an extreme joy and happiness. Did you get it, Brandy? Non perception of the world. That also includes your body, your breath, your mind, your intellect, your thought, your ego. The world has come to an end. What is left? Only the real self. So, where the mind goes, choose the God, image of the God, choose Om. Mind, I have given you to the Om. Finished. Completely unholy. That is known as Samadhi Siddhir Ishwar Pranidhanat. It's a long process. There is a text known as Sutra, Narad Bhakti Sutra. You already know it, 46 Sutra. Sthir Sukham Asanam. Sthir Sukham Asanam. Sthir Sukham Asanam. Shankara, the great master, he says Asina Sambhavat. Did you hear the news about Queen Elizabeth? UK? Huh? Queen sits on a thorn, and then everyone sits completely attentive. Right? That is how the Shankara defines the asana. Asina Sambhavat. When through the mind, the body sits on a thorn, you are there. Now, Patanjali explains different two element. So now see the beauty. In the first sutra, he explains the definition of the asana. In the second sutra, he explains the method of doing the asana. In the third sutra, he explains the benefit of asana. Perhaps he was less intelligent. That's why he didn't talk of anatomy and physiology. Because it is not required. So, no, I'm just joking. So there are two elements of the asana. What is the steadiness and happiness? So steadiness pertains to the body, happiness pertains to the mind. So it means if the mind is joyful, looking at the body, body will be steady. That is what we did today, Brandy, in our Saturday's meditation. Huh? I put your mind into that direction constantly. Kate also was there, and Christina was there. So you see that two elements. Now the master is answering himself what is the method of doing the asana. Prayatna shaithilyata ananta samapattibhyam. Yes, it is that. Prayatna shaithilyata ananta samapattibhyam. Prayatna shaithilyata ananta samapattibhyam. Just a brief understanding of this. Prayatna shaithilita. There are two main elements of perfecting the asana method. First is prayatna shaithilita, literally translated as negation of effort. Means what? Now let me give you a proper definition. You should not stretch your body too much. You should not leave the body too relaxed. It should be in between. Why? So that the mind should not be agitated. because we have understood the definition, happiness should be maintained. We can tolerate little pain, little stretching. What we do? We overstretch or we understretch. That is the first part. Prayatna shaithilyata. That is the meaning of negation of effort, you can say. Now, the second word is ananta samapattibhyam. So, first understand symbolic expression. Do you know Vishnu? You have read about Lord Vishnu? Okay. Do you also did you hear about Lord Vishnu sits in an ocean and there is a big snake? He sits over the Vishnu. The Vishnu sits over that thousand-petaled snake, and it is the job of the snake to maintain that steadiness of the Vishnu. That is the symbolic meaning of Ananta Samapattibhyam. Now, literal meaning, direct meaning. The mind should continue to remain inside the body during the practice of asana. That is the meaning of Ananta Samapattibhyam. If the mind does not remain inside the body, you are not doing an asana according to Patanjali. Ananta Samapattibhyam. There is another meaning. Ananta Samapattibhyam. Samapatti is also used for meditation. The word is used for meditation. So Anant, the mind should remain on the infinite. So there are many ways of doing it. During the practice of the asanas, first check that the regulation of the breath is in harmony. Is it in sync? You are neither breathing faster or slower. You're not feeling sleepy. You remain alert, and the mind remains either on the breath. I also teach asana, but I teach asana according to Patanjali, not according to any style. So when you do the practice, now see that there are four elements: steadiness, happiness or the cheerfulness of the mind in the first sutra definition. How do you achieve? Neither overstretch nor understretch. If you understretch, you feel sleepy. If you overstretch, the mind is into anxiety. So it has to be balanced. So you, as a teacher, you give a total liberty. You explain clearly. And that explanation should enter into the mind of your student. And then you say, take the mind inside. You need not to focus on me as a teacher. No, the mind should be. When you follow these four steps in the practice of the asana, then only you get a result. What is that result? Tato dandana vighataha. 48th Sutra. Tato dandana vighataha. Randy is not speaking. Tato dandana vighata. Where you are. That is why I was saying to Whitney and Alex also, I have to see you. Tato dandana vighataha. Randy was lost somewhere. I don't know where. No, I'm not asking where you are lost. It's better you're lost. So now you see that what he says, that is also beautiful. Tato dandana vighata. Pairs of opposites. I took a nap on the break and waking. But you are in a session now. Okay. So tato dvandane vighata, dvanda. Dvanda means dualities, pairs of opposite. How the pairs of opposite affects the body, heat and cold. My emotions, my mind, hate and love. My intellect, sorrow and happiness. So, by the regular practice of asana, considering all the four aspects, we transcend those dualities. But it has to be practiced for a long period of time. My master used to say that if you can practice without any discomfort, say, for example, lotus pose, for 3 hours and 48 minutes. I used to do it for about 5 hours, 6 hours. 3 hours, 48 minutes. Meditation is a play and fun for you. So, a specific time, I don't remember the text where it is written. Once I find during the Sunday sessions, I'll tell you. 3 hours, 48 minutes. There are 6 meditative postures which Patanjali talks as per the commentator. Again, based on the commentator, not according to me. So if we go back to the Gheranda Samhita, there are 32 poses. First 6 poses are meditative poses. See the link. Siddham padam tatha bhadram muktam vajram cha swastikam. These are the 6 meditative poses. You see, now the link is settled. So then you pick up any of these 6 poses and you have to reach to a state. The duration is 3 hours, 48 minutes with these 4 steps, 4 attitude, 4 qualities. Steadiness, happiness. The mind is crying and you are doing a meditative pose. That is not a meditation. That is not a practice of the asana according to Patanjali. Okay, coming to pranayama. Tasmin sati swas praswas yorgati vichedah pranayama. Tasmin sati swas praswas yorgati vichedah pranayama. Tasmin sati swas praswas yorgati vichedah pranayama. I remember about goddess of sleep. You know what Brandy has written, commented. So it is in different texts. So there is a goddess of sleep. So we say Nidra Devi. Nidra means sleep. So Nidra is a feminine. So we use the term goddess of sleep. So one day, the goddess of sleep was totally upset with the supreme god. So she went to the supreme god and she complained, "Why you put me only in the night?" You see, understand. So those who do not know ABC of yoga, we guide them through those symbolism. So there are a lot of stories, a lot of text, which gives you the story. So Supreme God said, "Why you are annoyed with me? And I give you a liberty." So when any teacher is teaching their students, and those students who do not pay attention, not for you, Randy, it's just, I remember the story. So I did. I know you will take it. It is not on you. So those who do not pay attention and those who overeat, those who feel the teacher is boring them, so hey, goddess of sleep, you can enter during the day also. Take over. It's such a beautiful journey. Yoga is such a beautiful journey.
According to Wikipedia, it's a beautiful day.
You see, my Google Assistant is ready to listen.
1967, featuring vocalist Patti Santos.
Okay, Google, stop it. This is too much. So you see that? A lot of stories, we teach them. Now see that you do not offend anyone, but now you realize what happened to your mind. You see, that is a beauty, John. So it means tasmin sati swasa praswas yor gati vichedah pranayama. I give a break between the inspiration and the expiration, inhalation and the exhalation. Now see another beauty. Understand that part. That is where the mantra Soham has come. Soham. Don't you see, after inhalation, there is a pause before exhalation? There is a natural pause. And after exhalation, before inhalation, there is a natural pause. So you need not to change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. Allow the mind to focus on that pause, natural pause. You get absorbed into meditation. That we will understand as the benefit of pranayama. That is the highest level of practice of pranayama. Inspiration. Yes, Shiv. No, I will take the Shankara's explanation later. Now see now what the master is saying, that you consciously regulate your breath and create a pause in between inhalation and exhalation, or exhalation and inhalation. If you create a pause between inhalation and exhalation, it means you inhale the breath inside and you retain the breath, or second option, you exhale it, then you retain the breath. This gives you the maximum benefit as compared to 8 pranayama of Hatha Yoga. I already explained last time. Peripheral, chemoreceptors, oxygen concentration. So how you extend? So it means I start breathing deep, silent, and slow. What happens to that? Our breath rate is 18 to 21. Normal, healthy being, adult healthy being, the breath rate is in between 18 to 21 per minute. During the day, simply practice pranayama. How? Decrease the breath rate per minute. If it is 18, make it 15 first week, second week 10, third week 5, or maybe extend that period. I can still do it 1 breath per minute very easily, very simply. So what happens when you reduce the breath rate per minute? The pause comes naturally. Second way. So this is what the meaning, the pause, the cessation of inhalation and exhalation should not be forced, should be done in a natural way. One aspect. When we will come to this pranayama on Sunday's session, so that is how he explained the 4 types of pranayama in the sutra number 50. बाह्याभ्यंतर स्तंभ वृत्ति देश काल संख्याभि परिदृष्टः दीर्घ सूक्ष्म बाह्य आभ्यंतर स्तंभ वृत्ति देश काल संख्याभि परिदृष्टः दीर्घ सूक्ष्म. You see, dirgha sukshma, prolonged, sukshma, subtle. So I translate that into deep, silent, and slow breathing. Silent. It has to be silent. You see, I strictly adhere to these principles, but I give my own expression. Bahya abhyantar stambha vritti देश काल संख्याभि परिदृष्टः दीर्घ सूक्ष्म. So you can literally translate, it is in the form of external, internal, suppressed modification, is regulated by place, time, number, prolonged, such a lot of things are there. Simple understanding. So, okay, that is what we did yesterday in Kundalini meditation. So I did every step 5 times. I chose the place. I told you, no, focus in the belly button. Now focus on the heart. Focus on inside the forehead. You see that? Prolonged. So I said, I'm asking you to retain the breath for 20 seconds only, not more than 20 seconds. In other cases, I said only 10 seconds. We should not allow the mind to react and get agitated by retaining the breath. That begins the danger. So 10 seconds, 20 seconds, even according to the science, is normal. Anyone can have it. John. So, you see now, you are retaining the breath when you are amazed. So sometimes you do it for 10 seconds and 20 seconds. There are different expressions. So 10 seconds, 20 seconds is normal until for at least 6 months. Oh, they both are lost, Kate and Brandy? Don't try to force to retain the breath. Nothing will happen. The danger will come.
I'm here. My battery's just low.
Oh, battery is low. Your battery or PC's battery, yes. So, so, so I now see that you can also study. You should study how the polar bears live in the snow. They bury themselves deep inside when there is an extreme snow. Their physiological and biochemical functioning reaches to the minimum, and they hardly breathe. Means they breathe just 1 or 2 breaths a minute. So basic metabolic rate drops down completely. Same thing happens with the hibernation of a frog. We don't want to be frog, not polar bear. We want to be yogi. So it has to be done consciously. Clear? Polar. So now he says the fourth one, three practices he explained in the 51. Bahyabhyantar Vishaya Akshepi Chaturtha. Bahyabhyantar Vishaya Akshepi Chaturtha. Bahyabhyantar Vishaya Akshepi Chaturtha. I think I should talk about Shankara as the way he explains the Pranayama. Inhalation is absorption of the entire world disappears with every breath going in. That is how he says that is the actual pranayama. And when you exhale, there is a manifestation of the universe. So it means what? The mind says, bye bye, world, when you inhale. Means the mind goes into the total state of emptiness. That is how the Shankara explains, a great master. Now relate this here. That now you are able to recognize the pause between the inhalation and the exhalation without mind making any effort. And that pause between the two is the state of mindfulness. Normally, people say the time comes you continue doing the pranayama, your inhalation and exhalation will stop, you will die if it stops. Why it should stop? That's a literal translation. The time comes you continue doing the and now you naturally the breath will stop. Why the naturally will breath will stop? If it naturally stops, it's a natural death. We should not have any misconception about it. You know, you see another meaning coming from Shiv Swaroda. Shiv Swaroda is a beautiful text. It says that Shiv Swaroda. I forgot it. Now I will remember and then I'll tell you. It came to my mind and I slipped. Now go to the 52nd Sutra. In the 52nd Sutra, the master is saying, what is the benefit of the pranayama? Tatakshiyate prakasha varnam. Tatachiyate prakasha varnam. Tatakshiyate prakasha varnam. What he is saying, look at it. How beautiful. Prakasha means light. Light means here knowledge. So the knowledge is covered by the ignorance, not knowing the real self present in the mind. Lot of impurities in the mind. By the regular practice of pranayama, that ignorance in the mind is removed. What means? What it means? By the regular practice of pranayama according to Patanjali, not according to Hatha Yoga. Don't mix up the two. So when you do it, you are able to remove that level of ignorance that even causes the anxiety, the duality, and conflict. But one has to do for a longer period. First benefit. And second benefit, adharana sucha yogyata manasa 53rd. Dharana sucha yogyata manasa. Dharana sucha yogyata manasa. You get a remarkable power of concentration for doing anything. It is not only for meditation and other things. Alex, in day-to-day working, in driving, in talking, in communicating, in writing, doing everything. I used to see my master even at the age of 85. So alert, so attentive. And he had a photogenic memory. He was totally illiterate. He ran away from the house at the age of 11, and he had the photogenic memory. He used to remember all the text by listening from his friends and colleagues. So I was already full, so I used to pick up, my text. Throw the text. I know that I will teach you. Totally different. Dharana Sutra, you get remarkable focus of, come to the 54th. Swavishaya samprayoge chitta swarupanukar Ivendriyanam pratyahara. What a beautiful way. Svavishaya samprayoge chitta swarupanukar Ivendriyanam pratyahara. Svavishaya samprayoge chitta swarupanukar Ivendriyanam pratyahara. Swavishaye samprayoge. Swavishaye. What are the objects of the eyes? Form and the form and the color. What are the object of the ears? Swavishaye. Respective objects of the sense organ. That is the first. Chitta swarupa anukara. Chitta swarupa anukara. What it means? Chitta swarupa anukara. So chitta here is used for the individual mind. Anukara, imitating or functioning, these sense organ functioning through the mind to the objects, picking up their form, has to be dropped. Look at me. Even though I am not so smart, but look at me. But don't think about me. Simply look. And it's a pure and virgin look. When the mind is not triggering any thought. You are looking for the sake of a look. Until the mind says, who is this weird guy? The sense organ cannot recognize it. Do you see? That is pratyahara. The moment I say I like John, pratyahara is gone. I dislike John, pratyahara is gone. Let the mind go through all the sense organs, but maintain your awareness. Mind, don't tell me. No information, please. Should I tell you, I lived 3 months with the UG Krishnamurti, one of the great masters, day and night. I want you to explore how he thinks and how he speaks, how he lives. So the fan was running and there was a big noise with reference to the pratyahara. I remember that. So I asked UJ, how your mind perceives the fan moving. Beautiful answer. He says, something inside has separated the noise of the fan with the wind of that fan touching my body. I could see they are totally separate. They are two functional units. Can you understand? It's a very deeper state of meditation. What a beauty. I was taken aback. So then we went to the sweet shop. I see that it is written sweet shop. It is disconnected with the sweets. I got it. How can your mind ever think? Can have the thought pattern? Can have any thought of anxiety and duality? That is the beauty of the journey of yoga. So we will come to left here. Now he says that is simple. Tatah Parama, 55th Sutra. Tatah Parama Vashyate Indriyanam. Tatah Parama Vashyate Indriyanam. Tatah Parama Vashyate Indriyanam. Now, what Yuji explains to me, he proves that according to Patanjali, I get a mastery over the sense organ. Means one sense organ is not wired by the mind to the other sense organ. What a freedom you have. Think of it. What a freedom. Say someone cheated you. So you have to see through the eyes before your mind is upset. So there is no feeling of upset. Christina, did you understand that? Tatah parama vashyate. I was quite young, and when I heard this, I said, he is crazy. And much later, I realized that I am crazy. I messed up in my life. You see that how we mess up? You go to the mall, in the store, you saw something, eyes, mind, like it. So now the mind has a liking with the eyes, you come back and you want to feel, second sense organ. See that? You want to hear something from the sales guy, third sense organ. Now you are already gone. Your case is gone. You have to buy that product. Do you see that? And now see that all the sense organs, let them function separately, independently. Mind, mind, mind. All the sense organs are functioning independently. Mind, eyes. Mind, ears. Mind, touch. Finished. Think of it. Can you ever have a passion or obsession for anything? Unless two or three sense organs sync together, the mind thinks, mind says, I like it, so I'm attached. So that attachment always goes through all the sense organs and it makes you passionate. I have to buy, there is no other alternative. So that is opposite of pratyahara. Here this is. Yeah, we have 7 minutes. Then we will go to the third session next time. If you have any question, ask me. Jan, I'm not so old, even though I look old.
You're only as old as you feel.
No, I'm just joking. What the heck? Body is old. I can never become old. I'm not young, not old. So we have completed, I think, 2 chapters. Third and the fourth will pick up. Any question? Yes, keep laughing, Krishna, John. Alex. Tell Bitney also to keep laughing. He's not there. Uh, so understand that is any question. Apply, even if we have a little understanding, apply that. You simply said, well, okay, mind, you are going through my eyes, good. Don't link what I'm hearing. Don't link. So now that guy says you are crazy, you will not feel bad. They both are dealing. Do you see that? That's what these yoga masters used to do. They used to play this trick. But it comes by practice, 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 practice. Once you practice the mind, okay, mind, no, don't go there. Even if it goes, crazy means excellent. Hold on. Finished. Change your life. Only one-way ticket. Kate will explain to John, no two-way ticket. You understand? Two-way ticket? One-way ticket. You see that just continue working inside you, whether you are with your honey, you're living a personal, professional, social life. Just live. Live into that state. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. And you will see that you cannot prevent yourself being happy and smiling. You are making such a tremendous effort to have a happiness and the smile, and still it is not coming. Do you agree with me? Huh? Do you see that? And once you start living that life internally, don't pay too much of attention to. My master used to say, take this world lightly. This world is not going to offer you peace and happiness. That world includes everyone, everything of this world, even a single pen from millions of dollars. And this Patanjali helps us to understand how the mind functions, how the sense organ does it, what needs to be done with reference to the body. Now I simply, I have a couch, so I sit in my lotus pose. So I brought it's not a computer table. I put it down so that I can sit comfortably. It is possible. You can adjust and align to different things. You are already changed. You all are good teachers, so not a big deal if you pick up